Coming to you from beautiful downtown Santa Rosa, this is the Backstage Sonoma podcast. And now, here's your host, Steve Roby.
This is Backstage Sonoma, and I'm Steve Roby. Today we have the incredible Jonatha Brooke joining us. With a career spanning over 3 decades, Jonatha has blended folk, rock, and pop elements, creating an unmistakable sound that's earned her critical acclaim and a devoted following. From her early days as part of the duo The Story to her solo projects like The Works and My Mother Has 4 Noses, Jonatha's storytelling and musical prowess have left an indelible mark on listeners worldwide. In today's interview, we'll explore Jonatha's current release, Sweetwater Sessions, and hear her insights on the creative journey behind this project. We'll also discuss her plans for an exciting new album set for 2025 and get a behind-the-scenes look at 3 musicals she's developing. Plus, we'll explore the stories behind the standout songs like Prodigal Daughter and I'll Try. To set the stage, we're kicking off this episode with a track that embodies Jonatha's signature mix of lyrical depth and musical innovation. Here's Taste of Danger, Jonatha Brooke on Backstage Sonoma.
I'm still chasing cars, playing in the undertow, barking at the stars, wondering where you are, thinking that I'll never know. I still play with fire, and I'm hoping that I might get burned, toying with desire, teasing to the wire, thinking that I'll never learn. Well, some things I earn, some things I steal, 'cause there's an angel on my shoulder, but the devil's got the wheel. I told the line, but then I fall. Yeah, 'cause heaven knows I like the taste of danger most of all. Danger most of all. Danger most of all. Standing on a ledge, don't you know I wanna jump? Not that I would give my desire to live, I just wanna try it once. I just wanna know what it is to make the leap, how the wind would blow, how fast I could go, and who would pray my soul to keep. Well, some things I earn, and some things I steal, 'cause there's an angel on my shoulder, but the devil's got the wheel. I told the line, but then I fall. Yeah, 'cause heaven knows I like the taste of danger most of all. Danger most of all. Danger most of all. There's a million souls out there, dying for a wish, living for a kiss, hoping for someone to care. On any given day, you can hear their songs and cries, kneeling down to pray, wishing they could say they'd never compromise. Well, some things I earn, and some things I steal, 'cause there's an angel on my shoulder, but the devil's got the wheel. I told the line, but then I fall. Yeah, 'cause heaven knows I like the taste of danger most of all. Well, some things I steal, and more
On Backstage Sonoma, you just heard Jonatha Brooke performing Taste of Danger. It's from her 2020 album, The Sweetwater Sessions, and she joins me now. Hi, Jonatha. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Steve. It's great to be here. Thank you.
I'm really looking forward to this interview. Such a pleasure to have you on.
Thanks.
So I just played a track from your album called The Sweetwater Sessions. What inspired you to create this collection, and how did the recording process differ from your previous projects?
Well, first of all, the inspiration was unearthing some songs that maybe had not gotten very much attention when they first came out.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a big part of the impetus. And then the recording process was a lovely invitation at the Sweetwater Studios in Indiana to combine sort of a recording session that I would benefit from with workshopping studio techniques for studio geeks that buy gear from Sweetwater. So like a bunch of dudes, I'm sad to say it was all dudes, but there were some girl engineers at Sweetwater, came and sort of watched the process, which was kind of exciting for them and terrifying for me because there I was, trying to make a record, but also being observed by studio geeks. On the one hand, terrifying. On the other hand, it's sometimes good to have an audience because you step it up a little bit.
Sure. Hey, I hear you're working on a new album for release in 2025. Could you give us a sneak peek at what fans can expect and look forward to?
Yeah. Well, I think that I have a lot to say right about now. November 6th, at least is when we're talking. I have got about 5 songs that are ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
And I have just this morning a surge of 3 more that came out of my fear and rage and terror.
I was just going to ask you, what themes might they be about?
Yeah, fear, terror, rage, and sadness. I mean, maybe it's going to be the whole 7 stages of grief. I have a lot that has been pent up, and not necessarily just politics, but I haven't made a Jonatha record in a really long time. I've been working on 3 musicals kind of simultaneously. So I am so excited to get back to writing Jonatha songs. And
Nice.
so there are 5 that I have in mind, and then I'm assembling 3 or 4 more, and we'll hopefully record in the early 2025s and release a record next year.
At this point, do you have a working title for the album?
Wow, that's a really good question. Any ideas?
A lot come to mind, but I don't think I can say those words on the podcast.
Yeah. Might it be The Slippery Slope?
There we go. Working title, exclusive.
Yeah. For like 7 stages.
Yeah, I like that. So with this new album, are you bringing any new influences or collaborations into the mix this time?
I think that I will be very entwined with my guitar player, Sean Driscoll, who's been touring with me for the last 10 years. We've developed this really amazing musical shorthand between us, and he's developed some really beautiful accompaniments. So he'll be a big part of it, and that's kind of a new thing to involve him as deeply as I plan on it. And I think that I will build them more like chamber pieces. I usually go into the studio and I like to track things with a band and get a live vibe of a whole band take. But I think this one will be a little more intimate, more chamberish. At least that's my plan so far. So I want to sort of build it out from the song itself rather than, going for the big take with everybody all at once. I want my voice and my guitar and or mandolin to be really at the center of it. And then anything else has to really earn its keep in terms of where it will go in the orchestration.
Nice. Any plans for physical media like vinyl or CD with this?
You're asking all the really good questions. Like, do people make CDs anymore? I mean, I know Taylor Swift does because she'll still sell a quadrillion, but I just don't know what to do. And vinyl has never been, I've never made vinyl, and I just don't know, is there a market for it with my...
There is. I mean, CDs, from what I understand, CDs are great to bring to a show, to sell at a merch table. Vinyls for the physical media geeks like me that want to hold something in their hand, read the liner notes, see who's playing on what track. So that's, because I'm old school and I love that kind of holding in hand and getting to know the record I'm listening to better. But we live in 2024, so.
Yeah, I mean, it's the yin and the yang of it, as my husband would say. It's so amazing. You can get any song anytime from any artist on any gadget you have, and yet there are still some people that want to hold it in their hands and play the whole thing through and hear that audio warmth of a vinyl disc. So I guess I'm chewing on those questions.
Okay,
and
good.
I too, I want to know who played what. I want to know every single thing about artists that I love. I want to know all this stuff. And that has so fallen by the wayside. It's just a tragedy.
Yeah. Well, let's play some more of your music. Let's keep it positive. We're going to play Prodigal Daughter. Can you tell our listeners the story behind writing that track and how it has evolved for you over time?
Oh, that song, it keeps giving in a way. I started it with the first line, I spent all the money, because I was raised in a very religious family, and I loved the story of the prodigal son, but, I joke about the fact that you don't hear a lot about the women in the Bible, and so I was going to write this prodigal daughter song, but it became like a really powerful lament, really, to the loss of my family, really, and so it gets more and more emotional and visceral when I sing it live. And Sean loves it too. Like, it's one of our favorite songs to perform live because it feels so personal, and it feels, it's just in my gut and my soul. And that's why I wanted to re-record it so that people would hear it again.
What a great intro. Let's play it now. This is Prodigal Daughter by Jonatha Brooke, and you're listening to Backstage Sonoma.
So
You just heard Prodigal Daughter by Jonatha Brooke, and she is my guest today on Backstage Sonoma. Jonatha, I understand you're juggling 3 new musicals. Oh my gosh, on that. What can you tell us about the themes or stories behind these works, and how did they inspire you?
Oh man, they're all so inspiring, mostly because they're very female centric. And so, obviously that's my specialty, being female. But I didn't expect them all to be kind of front burner at the same time. I've had the luxury of, one at a time being sort of more in focus and working on it towards a reading and or a performance. But like all of a sudden, all 3 of them are like vying for the front spot in my brain. So that's been a little scary. But they're all amazing stories. One of them is about 2 women who are switched at birth who find out when they're 40. One of the moms suspected all along and writes them letters. And they receive these letters around their birthday. And, the play starts there. But we flash back and we have double cast our leads. We have the 40-year-old selves and then we have their 16-year-old selves. So we get to see this sort of questioning nature, nurture, and what if not? And am I still the same person, even though I know that I might have been raised in a different family? So that's just, I love it so deeply, the exploration of identity and the crisis of, finding things out when you're 40 and questioning everything. Another one called Tempest is a story about it's fictional, we made it up, but it's a story about a woman in the 1930s who goes on an Antarctic expedition and she perishes. But the conceit is that 130 so years later, she is brought back because she is kept intact in the ice and story goes from there. Like, oh, is this possible? Which seems more and more likely. And that's exciting to explore those questions about life, death, agency, that kind of stuff. And then the third one is a Minneapolis-based story called Evidence of V, about a girl in the 30s here who gets pregnant at 15 and is sent away to a school for girls for 6 years just because of that. And that's a true story. And it is based on the recollections of the girl who is actually her granddaughter.
Wow.
So yeah, all percolating along and all like super consuming and great stories.
So I guess the obvious question is, what's your future plans with these?
Well, the Evidence of V one, which we just had a reading last week, was incredible. So I think that's going to get a production here in Minneapolis, probably at the History Theater. Switched, about the women switched at birth, is going into another reading probably next fall. And Tempest, the one about the Antarctic explorer, is probably going to have a table read this spring. It's the least developed of the 3. So it's going to have a table read this spring and hopefully a more fleshed out reading sometime this summer.
Okay. How do you switch gears creatively between writing an album and crafting songs for a stage production?
Well, I will admit I'm having a little trouble at the moment.
Okay.
I am worried that I'm going to start stealing melodies and ideas from one thing and give it to the other. And so I have 3. I make myself write in 3 different notebooks, in 3 different pens, 3 different even kinds of notebooks. So like each play has its own color scheme, pen, and kind of paper. And that helps me. It's almost like getting into character.
Wow.
So I have to just sort of switch almost like clothes and beings to get back into the sensibility of each thing. And strangely, they don't sound like one another. And that's been an exciting part of the discovery, is that like the characters really do speak for themselves and sing for themselves. So the hardest part is getting back to what kind of song is a Jonatha song? Like who's Jonatha these days, and what does she sound like?
Wow.
That's been like the biggest challenge.
I admire your creativity. That is just, that's a lot to juggle.
We'll see how successful it is.
All right. Well, let's play some more music now. And this is one last track from the Sweetwater Sessions. The song I'm going to play is called I'll Try. It has a particular heartfelt message. What was the process like writing this one, and how do audiences respond when you perform it live?
This one is the sweetest bounty. It's now been around for 20-something years. So there are 2 generations of people who have grown up and loved this song. And so I'll see mothers and daughters in the audience, sharing these heartfelt, hand-clasping moments where, because I wrote it for a Peter Pan movie, a Disney movie called Peter Pan, Return to Neverland. So it's been a big part of a lot of little girls' soundtracks. It's been translated into, 15 or 20 languages and heard all over the world. So it's one of my biggest songs, and it's kind of one of the most innocent ones. It starts out, the first chorus is, I'll try, but I try, but I can't. And then the last chorus is, I will try because I can. And it's kind of it's the journey of this young girl who figures out how to save the day. She saves Peter Pan. She saves the Lost Boys. She figures out how to rescue Tinkerbell. And it's all on the shoulders of this 12-year-old girl. And it was just such an honor to be asked to write this song. And it has lasted and persevered and really given back over these years. And so it's very emotional to sing it.
Yeah. What a great intro. Another great intro. Thank you, Jonatha.
Anything I can do.
Let's hear it now. This is called I'll Try by Jonatha Brooke, and you're listening to Backstage Sonoma.
Child now, I can take care of myself. I mustn't let them down now. I mustn't let them see me cry. I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm too tired to listen. I'm too old to believe all these childish stories. There is no such thing as faith and trust and pixie dust. I try, but it's so hard to believe. I try, but I can't see what you see. I try. My whole world is changing. I don't know where to turn. I can't leave you waiting, but I can't stay and watch the city burn. Watch it burn. I try, but it's so hard to believe. I try, but I can't see what you see. I try, and understand the distance in between the love I feel and the things I fear in every single dream. I can finally see it. Now I have to believe all these precious stories. The whole world is made of faith and trust and pixie dust. So I'll try, 'cause I finally believe. I'll try, 'cause I can see what you see. I'll try, I will try, I will try, I'll try.
That was Jonatha Brooke with a performance of I'll Try. She is my guest today on Backstage Sonoma. Jonatha, looking back on your career, how do you think these different phases of your journey have shaped your approach to songwriting and storytelling today?
I think, strangely, not much has changed. I am still completely enamored with the process and it still is completely mysterious to me how a song actually gets written. And I wish I had a theory. I wish I was more disciplined and I could tell you that I sit down for 4 hours a day and until something gets finished, but it's just not that way. I'm still superstitious. I am still grateful as all get out when I actually finish something. And I guess I'm lucky that I have all these assignments. I must finish this thing by next week. I must get this thing ready for a reading next spring, because otherwise I think I might flounder a bit more. But I guess what I've learned is trust your gut. I always know in the pit of my stomach if it's a keeper, or my stomach will start getting squirrely in a good way, or I'll be in tears, and that's what the other way. And I know that it's a keeper if it moves me, because if it moves me, it will certainly move somebody else, and that's kind of a universal thing. Yeah. And I guess I've also learned that to trust that less really is more. You don't have to throw the entire household junk drawer into a song. Yeah.
That's all great advice to pass along to up-and-comers. That was great.
Yeah.
So generally during this part of the show, I'd ask my guests about an upcoming show in the North Bay, but your concert at Hop Monk Tavern in Novato has sold out, and so is your show in Berkeley. So I can't really...
Oh, that's good. I didn't even know that.
I thought earlier, I think it was yesterday, I looked on the site, and I thought, okay, well, we'll pitch the Berkeley show because the Novato show is sold out. We'll ask you about that, and we'll try to sell tickets for the Berkeley, but that's sold out. So I think you're off to Seattle after the Bay Area. But for those lucky folks with tickets here in the Bay Area to either see your Berkeley show or your Novato show, which are both sold out, what can they look forward to?
Well, it's going to be a party because we're all going to need it. We're going to need each other. We're going to need love, kindness, consideration, humor, and beautiful music. And that's what I can bring. And I'm going to need it. And I'm going to need you guys. So I think that music is something that can bring us together and comfort and inspire. So I think there will be humor and fun and rocking and some quiet moments. It's going to run the whole gamut.
All right. I can't wait. And it looks like your current tour extends into April of next year. You're going to be busy.
I am going to be busy. I mean, luckily, I'm never out for too much more than 2 or 3 weeks, and then I usually get some time home, or
Nice.
I have another musical I have to write an installment of. But yeah, I'm out and about quite a bit, and I still love it. It's weird. I can't get enough.
Good. Don't stop.
Okay, I won't.
So if our listeners want to see your show schedule and pick up some of your tutorials, which are also on your website, they should head over to your website, jonathabrooke.com, jonathabrooke.com. Jonatha, it's been such a great pleasure speaking with you today, despite post-election happenings.
Yeah.
Thanks for being on the show.
Thank you so much for this conversation. It's been really lovely. Thank you, Steve.
Backstage Sonoma will be right back after this quick break.
Welcome to Backstage Sonoma, your all-access pass to the heartbeat of the Bay Area music scene. From jazz to rock, blues to world music, we bring you intimate conversations with the artists shaping our soundscape. Hear their stories, explore their inspirations, and dive deep into the creative process that makes each performance unforgettable. Hosted by Steve Roby, seasoned radio personality and best-selling author, Backstage Sonoma has featured Grammy winners like Judy Collins, Colby Kyle Lott, Leslie Mendelson, and chart-topping guitarist Adam Hawley. With over 200 episodes and 4 years of exclusive content, we keep you connected to the local and touring musicians making waves today. Whether you're a lifelong music lover or discovering new tunes, join us on Backstage Sonoma, Available on all major streaming platforms, including YouTube. Don't miss a beat. Subscribe now and be part of our growing community of listeners. Backstage Sonoma, where the music never stops.
Thanks for listening to the Backstage Sonoma podcast. Join us next time for more great interviews and music from local and touring musicians. You can find us on the web at backstagesonoma.com.